Okay guys, Marksmith50 and Chrissy S1009 here, and we just got back from seeing Final Destination 5, unfortunately.
Oh god.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about it, Chris. I'm sorry. Anyways, okay, the story.
Why don't we just introduce Final Destination itself first?
Yeah, might as well. Then you
So-
have the layout of the story, okay?
So Final Destination, we all know it by now. You probably have seen our first 4 Final Destination reviews.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, go back and watch those before these, just in case we spoil anything about
Or at
those.
least watch one of them. You can.
Yeah.
So it's
Watch the
basically-
first one at least.
Basically, Death goes and kicks all their asses.
More or less.
This is one of the worst sequels ever.
I know.
How it could have been rated as the best Final Destination.
It's almost as bad as Hatchet 2.
Oh god, it's so bad.
It's awful. It's a waste of Tony Todd's talent.
It's a waste of £7.75 in 3D.
Yeah.
Right, now Marcus, let's get into the 3D.
Okay,
Right,
the
sorry,
3D.
into the story, not the
But
3D.
story, okay, the story. Fairly non-existent in this one.
Well, you all know the story, really.
Yeah, they basically survive a bridge accident, some extremely bad accident. I mean, actors.
We'll go into the acting later, but
Yeah.
because we have a lot to say about that.
Especially Tom Cruise's son. Anyways,
Sloan.
yeah.
So the story,
The story, they're on a bridge, it's collapsing, you know the drill by now, they have premonition, they all die in, not very inventive ways this time, I must admit, the ways they died was not very inventive at all, was it?
Some of them were particularly hilarious.
Well, I mean, a few of them were okay, but none of them that great, just on the bridge though.
On the bridge.
Yeah, there's
they
only
were
one,
ridiculous.
there's only really one good one, I'd say. That was the first one.
That was brilliant.
Also, it took a while to get to the actual premonition, didn't
Yeah.
it? It spent a lot of
I
time
think that
trying
happened
to.
in the 4th one as well.
Well, yeah, but no, on the fourth one it goes straight to it. In the second
No.
one, it took a while to get to
Right,
it, but at least the
maybe I was
characters were
wrong.
good. Anyways, we'll talk about characters later though. Anyways, but the bridge, there's only one good death on that, and then drill. Death, which is a
Visits
false,
them all.
goes and hunts them all down, tries to kill them. Only this time, the twist is they can apparently save each other.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's in the trailer.
No.
They can apparently skip themselves by killing other people. They did not take advantage of this enough. Nowhere near enough. So it's nowhere near as awesome as it sounds, guys. And it doesn't even sound that awesome, so
But
there that
basically,
is.
before we run out of time just on the story, what would you give it?
1, maybe 2.
That much, yeah? 1 is probably what I'd give this story. It is so poor. God,
Yeah, wait till we get to the characters.
Come on, let's just get straight to the character. I think we've criticised the story enough.
Okay, time to criticise the characters. The characters were, for lack of a better word, fucking awful. Okay? They're just fucking awful, okay?
Bit bad then, yeah?
Yeah, they're worse than stereotypes. Like, we criticised the other Final Destinations before we saw this one, remember?
That
And
made...
the acting, the characters in that made them seem realistic. These guys were not even one-dimensional.
You know what you could say? Say you watched Hollyoaks. They had the eye candy. They had a bloke that looked like Tom Cruise's son.
Yeah,
Okay. They had the sort of normal guy. It was like an exaggerated in-betweeners.
It's like they just found any random person that they thought they looked good, pulled them off the street, wrote about a paragraph worth of character development down, and said, here, that's your character. Then they basically just gave them about 5 minutes to work on the character, and then they said, okay, we're making a film now, this is what's happening. And then they basically just, it's like a kid wrote a little script.
Yeah.
Also, they weren't, even for this year, if they try to make a bad film, there's usually like just tons of gore and tons of F-bombs and everything.
Yeah.
They swore like twice. They,
I don't even think it was that much.
Yeah.
What would you give the characters out of 10?
alright, 0.51.
If I couldn't... I can't give less than that for this film. I mean, I can't give 0, but I'll give as close to 0 as I can, and I'll say 0.5, but... God, it was bad. Now, let's get to the really bad bit.
No.
The acting.
The acting. Okay. Ooh, dear. as I said before, it's like they pulled people off the street. They've literally just pulled some people off the street and said, alright, we want you to act in this film, and then just literally thrown them on set.
You may as well have got Stephen Hawking to say the lines. They're so
and
flat.
the facial expressions.
The facial expressions.
They'd have been better if they had a stroke.
Voices. Oh, Christ. In fact, one sec, I would say there is one good actor, and that's the kind of fat guy who gets...
Yeah, and also the black guy was pretty good.
Oh, the black guy's pretty good. Oh, and
so the fat guy and the black guy, they're pretty good.
And what about the other two? The guy...
So the stereotype.
Yeah.
And also Tony Todd is always good in films.
Yeah.
See, you can't get... Tony Todd is a good actor
But
no matter what
he's
material
just basically
you're
menacing.
Yeah.
We'll leave that out, but
the thing is though, Tony Todd, that's what disappointed me the most. His talents are being wasted nowadays. I mean, he's making Hatchet 2, that was crap, and that was a sequel, and to a really good film. He's made this, which is crap, and it's also another sequel to a pretty decent franchise. So, I mean... Oh god, and I also, before this came out, I thought it was the Unruinable franchise, didn't I? I said that. I literally said it was the Unruinable franchise. Somehow they ruined it. How the hell do you ruin an unruinable franchise?
Jesus, this was so bad. It was like a spoof of itself.
Okay, anyway. Alright, I'll give the acting a 0.1.
Oh,
Chris.
As close to, 0.1, if that. God, it was bad. The
atmosphere. Okay, where was the atmosphere?
Well,
it's been in the show.
If you've ever seen a Morecambe and Wise sketch, imagine someone had thrown an axe at them. That was the atmosphere. There was no tense. It was not tense in any way whatsoever.
That bale of hay that just goes past on the scene. That's basically the film. That's basically the atmosphere of the film. It's like bale of hay just passing through.
Now they seem to have been caught in this sort of 90s generic stereotype, where you play the music really try and get it really suspenseful, and then something happens but there's nothing there, and then they turn around again and the music just blasts out. That's what happened every single 7 seconds. It was...
By the way guys, I'd just like to say one more thing about the story that I forgot to mention. There is an okay-ish twist at the end, which is why I gave it 1 to 2 stars rather than 0.5.
Oh yeah,
that's about all there is. Don't even look forward to it, because if you look forward to it, it's just going to be a piece of crap.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the amazing twist that you've ever wanted to see. But
and it only makes sense if you've seen at least one of the other films.
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't disclose more than that.
Well, yeah, that's about all we're saying, in case you actually do want to see this awful film.
So the atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere, it's non-existent, NA.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it was that bad. I'd give it a 3. I wouldn't.
Okay, 3. Well, I'll give it maybe a 1.
A 1, okay.
Maybe
now,
a 1.
Let's go to the last one, the gore and the violence. This is probably where it can get a goodish
The gore was better than the rest of the stuff, but that's not saying much, okay? The gore... I would say
it will make you laugh more than anything.
Yeah, it's funny. There was about 2 good gore scenes.
eye one, I would say, if you're sort of squeamish when it comes to eyes, don't go and see this film. But
I didn't find that scene squeamish, but I mean, that was a pretty neat death, and also, I think they call it the eye surgery scene.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
The laser eye surgery. Maybe,
yeah, that scene was pretty gruesome, but I mean. I didn't really find that gruesome, but I've seen a lot of worse things.
If you're sort of scary or funny about eyes, either walk out of the cinema at that point.
Just cover your eyes at the point when you'll know when it's getting to that point. You will know.
Yeah.
And also, 1 minute, there's another really good one, which was the needle one.
Oh yeah,
the needle one. That was really good. I really liked that one. That was pretty much the only thing I think that I actually liked about this film. It's like the Duke Nukem of films. It's like it's a shit film with some good elements added to it, and that was one of the good elements.
But apart from that, the gore seems sort of over generous. It's like just throwing at you, and it's like, yeah, okay, I get it.
And there's one decent gore scene on the bridge, but you only get you only really get the full effect of that if you're watching it in 3D like we were.
Now we were watching,
which was more of a gimmick.
Okay, actually I'll go to 3D later. But what would you give the gore?
Probably a 5, because it's the best part of the film.
I would say about 5. So let's just talk about your overall. Now, we've criticised this film so much, and we watched it in 3D, which generally adds at least 1 point to a film. With all that, taking everything we've already said into account, I'd give this film a 2, and I think that's ridiculously generous. Marcus?
Well, I'm actually going to be a bit more generous. I'll probably say because of the gore and I like the twist ending. I'll probably say that it's about maybe a 3.5, maybe a 4, maybe, but more or less a 3.5.
Now, just put it into comparison, how does that compare with Hatchet 2?
Hatchet 2 would probably be about 4 or 5 because I thought that was bad. It's not as bad as this.
Okay. Now I'll tell you what is bad, Son of the Mask. If we put that as the worst film I think I've ever seen, and I know there are worse films out there, but that I've ever gone and seen, if I put it as the worst film ever, this is only slightly better than that.
Yeah. We're getting a bit off topic now, so
yeah.
we run out of time as well, so this is Marsmith50 and Chris ES 1009 signing out. Do not see this fucking film unless you're a massive Final Destination fan and you just feel that you want to see it to complete it. Yeah, that's the only reason I could justify seeing it. That's it. That's our review. Hope you enjoyed it and not the film. That's pretty much it. We are signing out.